Hello, good evening. My name is Richard. Welcome back to Over and Over and Over Again. This is the Euros 2022 daily live show. We had a night off last night. There wasn't much really going on, but tonight we have got a big preview of the quarterfinals, which will start tomorrow. England against Spain. That is going to be a fantastic game, isn't it? We're also going to look at the Germany-Austria quarterfinal, which is on Thursday. We can look back on the group stage as well, which of course ended last night. All that's coming up the other side of this.
We'll be alright with Ellen White. Take the lead with Beth Mead. Williamson gets the job done and Lauren Hemp is heaven sent. Hear the lionesses roar. Left foot, right foot, header. Left foot, right foot, head. I'm supporting England cause it's left foot, right foot, head.
So how's your nerves then ahead of tomorrow? Big game, of course, England against Spain in the quarterfinals. Can England make it through and stay in the tournament? It's going to be a tough game, isn't it? We know what a good side Spain are. Yes, we also know they're missing two of their best players due to injury, but they've had a reasonably decent group stage, haven't they? They obviously beat Finland fairly comfortably. They did lose to Germany in the game. They dominated the possession. And then in the last game against, who was it they played in the last game again? I've forgotten now. But anyway, they just needed a draw, didn't they? And they got a goal in the last minute to win the game on the counter-attack. And yes, they've not always reached the heights that we expected them to, but we know what a good side they are. And it's going to be a difficult game for us tomorrow night. We know that. Now, on the good news side of things, obviously Serena seems as though she's recovering from the COVID situation that she had. She did a press conference today virtually, but it was good to hear her. She's been involved in training from a distance outside and stuff like that. So I don't think that the whole situation that she's been in is going to make too much difference really to the preparation for the game. And she's still hopeful that she's going to be available tomorrow to be there in the dugout and on the side of the pitch in the change room, all that kind of stuff, which would be great news if she is. But it looks as though they've had a plan in place already for this eventuality. And obviously that's what they're going with. They're going with a plan that they already had in place. So I'm not overly concerned. Yes, it's not ideal, is it? And we would have preferred it if she hadn't tested positive and she had been with the team the whole time. But ultimately, the situation is what it is. She has tested positive and we've been dealing with it. And I feel as though it sounds like we're probably as prepared for this eventuality, probably more prepared than many of the other nations that have been at the tournament. So, yes, it's not ideal, but we'll get on with it. And I'm sure tomorrow night when the game starts, it's not going to have any impact at all on the result. The most important thing is all the players are fit and all the players are available. And that's the most important thing, isn't it? And Serena did her interview today. She's clearly healthy and fit, which is good news as well. And I'm sure that's not going to play a part too much tomorrow night. I don't think it'll play a part at all. We're certainly not going to use it as an excuse. That's for a fact. So we just have to look forward to the game, and I'm sure it's going to be a good one. Joining me tonight, it's not Andreas, unfortunately. He can't make it tonight. He's a bit busy, but we have got I don't want to call him a stand-in because he's not a stand-in. He's a regular on the show. It is, of course, Amar. How you doing tonight, Amar? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Yourself? You been keeping well?
Yeah, not too bad at all. It's a bit warm today, and it's been a bit warm yesterday. But we're surviving, aren't we? It's what it is. It's not going to be as warm tomorrow when the game's on, which is perhaps the main thing.
Thank goodness, mate. Yeah, thank goodness.
I mean, obviously, we will maybe talk about the England game a little bit more, but the group stage obviously is finished now. It finished last night, the last group game. And we now know all of the quarterfinals. It was, of course, Belgium made it through from Group B in the end. A second half winner got them through. Italy had a lot of possession, but didn't really look like scoring and getting back in it. They've been disappointing in this tournament. They go out. Iceland maybe a little bit unlucky because if they managed to get another goal against France, they would have sneaked through. So the first team ever to go out without losing the game.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
They'll feel a little bit, perhaps unlucky maybe that they haven't gone through. But it is Belgium in the last four with only 4 points, which the lowest total of points of a team that's got through. So they're going to be probably rank outsiders, but they've got through for the first time, so it's good for them. But I mean, what have you made of the group stage overall? No goalless draws, actually, which is unusual.
It is unusual, yeah. Weren't close. We were close a bit with the Denmark-Spain game, and for a long while, Italy-Belgium looked like it was going to end goalless. But yeah, no, it's good to see. I think they said somewhere the record number of goals. I read earlier, record number of goals in the group stage. I think it was like 78 or something, which is averaging above 3 a game, which is great to see.
Yeah, no, it
when you compare them, yeah. Yeah, no, sorry, yeah. No, sorry, go on.
No, you just froze there, that was all.
No, sorry, yeah. Can you hear me now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. So they were saying I think it was 78 goals in total, which is averaging over 3 a game. So no, that was great to see, and hopefully the standard of football continues into the knockouts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of drama in the knockout stage. I mean, the 4 games all look as though they're going to be, 3 of them certainly look as though they're very difficult to predict the result of, actually, very close games. I mean, I do think Sweden are massive favourites to beat Belgium, but I think the other 3 games, obviously us playing Spain, Germany against Austria, and France against Holland, could go either way. All 3 of those games, it's difficult to predict, isn't it? Which makes it exciting, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. They're all really cracking ties, and I mean, we can't really say that even though like England and Germany being a standout and France were the standouts in the group stage, you can't. Yeah, knockout football just becomes totally different. How many times have we seen in the past teams do so well in the group stage and then get knocked out? So, I mean, we could take nothing for granted. But yeah, no, it promises to be exciting, and yeah, I can't wait. Particularly as I'm going to the game tomorrow, that should be really good.
Yeah, no, I mean it's going to be quite nervy and quite tense, I'm sure, because you can't see us winning the games as easily as we've won our last 2 games. I'm expecting a game more like the Austria game, not necessarily in the way the game's going to be played out, because Spain will want more possession than Austria had against us, and Spain will try to win the game, whereas Austria, I thought, were quite happy to have got a draw. But anyway, I think it'll be a different game, but I think it's going to be more like that game than the other 2 games. And obviously we've scored a lot of goals, and I don't think it's going to be like that. So it's going to be nervy. I mean, Serena has hinted on the fact that she's not going to make any unnecessary changes to the team. And why would you? You know, we've just won 3 games in a row, scored 14 goals, not conceded.
Yeah.
Can you see there being any changes, do you think, or is it going to be the same start? Assuming everybody's fit tomorrow, you assume it's going to be the same starting 11 again?
Yeah, I can't see why she'd want to make any changes. The good thing is that she'll have recovered from a bout of COVID, hopefully. I mean, Russo looked bright when she came on too as well. But it just goes to show the squad depth off the bench. You don't need to start them. You don't need to start them because you've got the quality players to replace them. So I mean, maybe she'll be looked to maybe bring them on later, like she did in the Northern Ireland game, because the strength and depth that's available to her is just tremendous. So I mean, I don't see why she'd want to make any changes unless maybe she'd want to. She'd saw something in that Northern Ireland game, but other than that, yeah, I just stick with the same team that's been flying so far.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be amazed if there was any changes. I think it would more likely be if somebody maybe wasn't fit to play tomorrow, then it might not be able to be in the team. Other than that, I can't see her changing it. And she'd say a press conference, she basically said that anyway. You know, she wasn't going to make unnecessary changes, which I know you can read into that what you want, but she didn't make any changes for the Northern Ireland game. I'll be amazed if she makes any for this game. I agree. Russo and Ella Toone in particular have both made a massive impression in this tournament coming off the bench, haven't they?
Yeah.
Both of those 2. And they'll probably be the 2 that would be the most disappointed, maybe, not to be in the starting lineup, I guess, with the performances that they've made. But ultimately, as I said, we just won 3 games in a row. We've played really well. Why change a winning team unnecessarily? You don't. Yeah, you just keep it the same.
Exactly.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll produce a good performance, and that hopefully will be enough. But I mean, I think the atmosphere tomorrow in the stadium is going to be something unreal, isn't it? I mean, I'm really jealous that you're going. It's going to be an amazing night for you. And let's hope it, I'm sure you'll enjoy it as much as the Norway game. I don't think there's going to be as many goals, is there, unfortunately?
Well, I wouldn't tell you that, but Norway would just rip apart. Norway would just ripped apart and didn't know what hit them. 6-0 down at 40 minutes. That was just some of the best football I've seen. The atmosphere there, although 28,000 was crazy. I imagine maybe even higher, more people tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, tomorrow is going to be a totally different game. You're not going to see too much of the ball, but you see, as loads of pundits and ex-players have been saying, they only have one style of football, and you're not going to see a lot of the ball. But England off the ball have been outstanding all tournament.
Yeah.
They press you so high, and they They have a defined way of playing, and they can hurt you almost on every or hurt you so much going forward. So it'll be a
Yeah.
different type of game, but I can still see us winning comfortably. I think when we played them early in the year in Norwich in the Arnold Clark Cup, they didn't really threaten us that much, and we were unlucky not to win that game. So hopefully we can see a similar performance, but get through to the semis tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't actually scored against Spain the last 2 times we've played them. There was that 0-0 draw in the Arnold Clark Cup where they beat us 1-0. Was it the year before in the She Believes Cup as well? So we haven't scored.
That was right. Yes, yeah.
I mean, I think we've improved since then anyway.
Massively.
And Spain obviously have lost their 2 best players, arguably their 2 best players. So I suppose things have maybe swung slightly, but it's never an easy game against Spain. And I'd say, especially in recent years, they're a difficult team to beat. And it certainly isn't going to be, I don't think it's going to be an easy game for us at all. I don't think it's going to be an easy victory. I think we're going to have to work really hard off the ball. As you said, we've been brilliant so far, and I'm sure we will be. And then I think when we get possession of the ball, and I think we'll have a lot of possession. I don't think it's going to be like the Germany game against Spain. I think we're going to have a lot of possession of the ball, and so are they. We just need to be, we need to be more ruthless. I know we scored a lot of goals. It seems strange to say that, but we've also missed a lot of chances, haven't we, in all 3 games that we played?
Yeah,
and tomorrow it's going to be such a tight game. If we create 2 or 3 good chances, we're going to have to take at least one of them, aren't we? Because we're not going to get the sort of chances we had.
There's always a threat that you dominate a game. You've seen it so many times down the years, and you end up being profligate. The other team always can sucker punch you on the other just in an instant. So that's why you got to be worried.
Yeah, we have, and I say, we have scored a lot of goals. So I don't want to sound like I'm being down on it, but we have missed chances as well. And we've had a lot of chances maybe not so much against Austria. We didn't have that many. We took one of them when it was enough in the end. And the other 2 games, we've had plenty of chances. We've scored plenty of goals, but we've missed plenty as well. And I'm just worried that we can't be that many chances missed in this game, because I think if we do that, we might find it a lot more difficult. So, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, I do think we are at the moment we're in better form. I mean, what have you made of Spain in the group then? Because obviously they had 2 wins, 1 win at the end of the game against Denmark, as you said, and they beat Finland quite comfortably, although they did concede very, very early in that game. They conceded very early against Germany. They did play quite well. I mean, Andreas was at that game. He said that, Spain played well, but ultimately they didn't really look like they were going to score, did they, in that game? I didn't feel. What did you make of Spain in the group then, overall?
Yeah, I didn't watch all of their games. I saw the bits of the game against Denmark and the bits of the game against Germany because I was travelling back, and the same with the game against Finland. I only saw bits of, but you expected them to come back against Finland. They worked them up. They scored 4 there, but against Germany again, they just know the teams didn't know. I wouldn't say they've been found out totally, but they know which way they're going to play, and they can impose their tactics and force them into errors and make them play the way they want to, which they're not comfortable with. You see, because they don't hurry you and press you as much as other teams do. We've seen with Germany, and even though they went behind, they created. But again, if the goalkeeper, I remember especially the game with Germany, the goalkeeper Fromen was pretty impressive. They did create chances, and even against Denmark, Denmark were, rather than having Pernille Harder and Nadia Nadim had a great job, the only decent chance. You see with England, they will create chances, they will harry and press them, and they'll have to maybe change their style, the way they play if they're going to upset the odds and win this one. So overall, I'd say they haven't been that great, but then they might then they could just improve as the knockouts go on. Who knows? But of course, we hope that's not the case.
Yeah, we hope they don't have any more games after tomorrow. And that's it. That's their only game. That's what we're hoping for. But no, I mean, we know they've got quality players. Despite the injuries that they've got, they've still got quality players, and they're a very good team. They move the ball well, and I agree with what Serena said. I do feel as though they've got vulnerability in Spain, and I think it's been clear in the group stage. They've conceded 3 goals in 3 games. Which is in a group stage of a competition in the group they're in, that's probably a lot of goals when you look at it, to concede 3, and they conceded 2 against Germany, 1 against Finland. They've made mistakes defensively at times. The goalkeeper looks a little bit suspect on occasions. I think that back 4 can be got at. I think we can get the ball between them, and I think we can get runs in behind. I think we can cause them problems, but ultimately they're going to cause us problems as well because of the way they move the ball. And it's difficult chasing the ball without possession, isn't it? Then when you've got the ball, and it is going to be a tough game. I mean, I think Spain have been a bit hit and miss in the group, if I'm honest. And I wasn't too disappointed. It was them that finished second, and we had to play them. Obviously, I'd have hated to have played Germany. They were playing, so I'm quite happy that we've avoided them. But yeah, I mean, we know they are quality, and on their day, if it all falls into place for Spain, they'll feel that they can beat us. I'm sure they will, because they know they've got the quality players, despite how well we're playing and how well we have been playing. And that is a worry, isn't it? Because when you play a team with quality players, if we make one mistake, they could punish us.
Absolutely,
If we go behind, I think it's going to be very difficult for us to. I think the first goal tomorrow night is going to be so important. If we score first, Spain are going to have to take more risks as the game goes on. It's going to leave more spaces for us. If they score first, then I think it's going to be really difficult for us. I mean, do you think the first goal is going to be the most important part of that game tomorrow?
Yeah, the first goal in any game is important. I mean, but the way England are playing with at the moment, I think they're more than capable of scoring first. It will be interesting to see if they do go behind with the response, and it will certainly change the mindset and the way they will certainly approach the game. But if we score first, they'll make Spain come and play the way they want to play, and certainly we can force them into mistakes, not like we did with Norway, Northern Ireland. They're better side than that, even though they're ranked higher than us in the world rankings. But it's always important, and but if we do score first, then they'll have to change the way they play and come out and be more aggressive. Whereas if they score first, we'll have to certainly change the way, as I said, how England will approach the game, and how Serena will approach the game as well. So of course, it will be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be so important that we're really focused and switched on from the start. I'm sure we will be, because Serena, the one thing about Serena, probably for me, one of the great things about Serena and why she's such a great manager is because the preparation is perfect, isn't it? She prepares for everything. And I'm sure that, we're going to go out there tomorrow night and that team are going to be 100% prepared for that game. And that's all you can hope for, isn't it? We've got the quality to win it. We know that. And I think sometimes in the past with England teams, both men and women, maybe it's been that preparation that's let us down in certain knockout games in other tournaments. And I don't think that can be. I don't think if we did lose tomorrow, God forbid that we do, but if we did lose tomorrow, then it won't be down to lack of preparation. It won't be down to lack of quality either. It'll just be because maybe Spain were better on the night. I think if that's the case, we'd have to accept that. But we do look, don't we, so prepared for every single game that we've played. And I think that's been the key so far, isn't it?
Yeah, they're prepared and hungry. She's very meticulous in the way she does it. And, of course, it's not changed, the way she took her home countries. The Netherlands in the home Euros, the way they played there on the way to winning that was superb. And, from there, her stock just rose. And why not just England wanted her, but I think Australia were targeting her, but we got in there first. And then she backed up by taking them to the World Cup final, which people, even I said that I think at the time they could, and only in the end undone by one or two maybe, let's not speak of the referees in the World Cup, but maybe one or two unlucky decisions that went against them. But she definitely got her style of doing things and her style, and the way you can see that how it translates onto the pitch, the hunger and the desires there with this Lioness Society, which was maybe severely lacking in previous ones, and that just comes down from the manager and the way she wants them to play. So, then that's what's been most impressive so far with this England compared to previous ones.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I like the fact that, again, today in her press conference, she was asked about the pressure, being a knockout game now, the pressure. And she said to me, well, you talk about pressure, we talk about football. We focused on what, our job. And that's it. And, and to me, that's brilliant, because if that's coming across to the players, then the players are maybe not going to feel the pressure that we may previously have done in other tournaments and stuff like that. Because obviously we're England, there's a lot of pressure on us anyway, but certainly in a home tournament, it's even more so. And I felt in the first game against Austria, we did look a little bit nervous, and the pressure did look as though it was weighing on us. But certainly since then, we certainly haven't done. And let's hope that tomorrow we can continue with that. You know, that we don't feel like we're playing under pressure. We can go out, express ourselves, play our game, and if we do that, we've got a great chance of going through. I don't want to say we will go through if we do all that, because Spain are a very good team, but we'll give ourselves a brilliant chance to go through. And I think that's all we can expect. You know what I mean? We can't sit here now and say, yes, we expect to win tomorrow. All I can say is if we look prepared properly, if we give our best, we'll have a great chance of getting through to the semi-final. And
Absolutely.
You know, and I think everybody knows that. And it's just, can we perform on the night to the level that we need to? If we do, we'll have a great chance. And no matter what Spain do, no matter how well Spain play, if we play our top game, if we bring our top game tomorrow, we'll have a great chance of winning, won't we?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Like we have been doing the whole tournament, and you know, teams have just haven't been able to respond, and it certainly will put them under pressure if they play the way they have been in the group stages. And I honestly don't think we've got anything to fear. We've got the hopes of the nation and cheering them on. Fantastic fans. The atmosphere will be hopefully electric as it was in the Norway game and other ones. And yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how Spain react to that. But honestly, it will be interesting to see how they react. But yeah, it will be either that the fact that they've outplayed us, or we haven't played well, and that if we don't go through. But at the moment, you can never underestimate your opposition. You do so at your peril. But they're riding the crest of a wave, and they'll just be confident of getting the job done.
Yeah, no, I'm sure confidence isn't going to be a problem, is it? After the way the last two games in particular, the way that we've played and the goals that we've scored, and you know, the players have come off the bench and made an impact and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, it is something to really be excited about. I mean, I'm so much looking forward to the game tomorrow. Yes, I'm a little bit nervous, I suppose, a little bit apprehensive because it's 90 minutes of football and it's knockout football and anything can happen. We've seen it so many times, you know, and there's always that nagging thing in the back of your mind. You know, it just might not be our night for whatever reason. We might not take our chances. We might be unlucky. There might be a decision go against us, you know, a penalty or a red card or something stupid. We just don't know. And all these things are, you know, always in the back of my mind. And it's like, I just hope that none of those things happen and it goes as well as we hope. Like, you know, so I'm a little bit nervous and a little bit apprehensive, but ultimately I'm really, really looking forward to it because I enjoy watching this team play. And I think that's, you know, that's part of the, well, that's a big part of it all, isn't it, really? You know, not only have we got a great chance of winning, but it's actually, we know it's going to be enjoyable to watch, isn't it? Because the style of football that we play, the intensity that we play at, the pace that we play at, it's going to be, I mean, the atmosphere, as you mentioned, in the stadium tomorrow. I mean, obviously you was at Brighton for the Norway game and the atmosphere then was amazing. I mean, this is going to probably top that, isn't it, being a knockout game? Yeah,
I think there'll be even more behind the goals now and they'll be wanting them to go through. Yeah, and let's see. I mean, as I said, they feed off that atmosphere. The girls, they've been in all tournament, even Southampton, the atmosphere was superb. And it's just great to see that these crowds and everyone, as everybody is just getting into the game more often, and the team is making that, increasing that awareness and popularity, or however you say it, within the game, and I expect more of the same if they go all the way. I think, like it was when the men's team were last summer's Euros, and we came so close to winning that, and the girls were just fed off that as well. So, I mean, it should be hopefully the same, if not even more explosive atmosphere tomorrow. So it should be really good.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's going to be. I think it's going to be incredible, actually. And of course, if England do win tomorrow, which we're all hoping and praying that we do, then I've got tickets to the semi-final at Sheffield, which will be in. So I'll be
against either Sweden or Belgium. That'll be good. Yeah,
I'll be really excited tomorrow. I'll be more excited probably tomorrow if we win because I know I can be at the semi-final. So I'm going to be so looking forward.
Sweden, if it was Spain,
and I'll be Sweden or Belgium. You'd imagine it'd be Sweden, which will be a tough game as well, obviously. But you know, to actually experience that atmosphere in one of the knockout games will be amazing. So if we did get knocked out tomorrow, I will be sort of doubly disappointed because England are out and we can't win a tournament, but equally I won't be able to see England in the semi-final. But it's more important that we go through for the whole nation, the whole of women's football in this country, and for the players and the manager. So that's the most important thing. But from a personal perspective, I'll be delighted to be able to experience that semi-final atmosphere involving England if that's the case after tomorrow. So but I mean, I think it's going to be incredible tomorrow. And you know, I hope the atmosphere comes across on the telly because sometimes it doesn't always. I know you're doing a vlog for us, so hopefully you'll be able to capture some of that as well. So you will, and it'll be great, and it will give everybody an opportunity to experience that as well, because I do think that's great actually. With the vlogs that there's been on the channel, obviously you've done some, Andreas has done some, Matt's done one, and I've done a couple, and you know, Adam did one, and I think that what that's done is it's been able to bring some of the atmosphere at the games to people that wouldn't ordinarily have experienced it, and I think it's been great. You know, you've all done fantastic work on the channel.
It's good.
Tournament. And you know, there's still a few more games to go. Are you going to any more now, or is this it for you?
No, that's it. I did a try for the final, but I wasn't successful. So tomorrow's my last game.
Yeah. I mean, I've only got I'm going Saturday to France, Netherlands, which is going to be good actually.
That would be a great game.
That should be a great game. Yeah, that should be a great game. I'm looking forward to that one. And then obviously, I've got tickets to the semi-final. I mean, if England aren't in it, we may well sell the tickets on, because I'm not sure if I can be bothered going to a semi-final involving.
You also went to England, Austria, and which was in Netherlands, Sweden, didn't you?
Yeah. So I mean, hopefully I'll end up going to 4 games, and that'll be good. I'm delighted with it, and I've really enjoyed everything about it actually. Not just the games themselves, because the games have been great, but more the whole organisation of it all. That the fact that the crowd, that the fans of the other nations have been great as well. I mean, Austria didn't have too many fans at Old Trafford. I know Norway didn't have too many fans, did they? I know Northern Ireland did. They're quite good.
They're quite good. They had a decent fan base there in Southampton. Yeah, I saw that from where I was sitting.
Yeah, they made a lot of noise as well. And obviously Spain, I'm not sure how many fans they'll have tomorrow. They'll have a few, I would have thought. They'll give them a little section, won't they, in the crowd somewhere, I would assume. But so I've noticed that obviously the Sweden-Netherlands game, the atmosphere with the 2 sets of fans. And, you know, in the other vlogs that I've seen of other countries, Germany, in the Germany game, all the games really, you look at it and the crowds have been fantastic, haven't they? You know, did you see the Italy game last night? There was a guy, an Italy fan, who was running around trying to get all beat up and stuff like that. It's brilliant. And when Adam did the vlog of the Finland-Germany game at the weekend, there was a couple of Finland fans that were jumping around with a drum and a megaphone, and it's brilliant stuff like that. And say Sweden had a megaphone, their fans, the game that we were at, and it's just brilliant. And the atmosphere has been absolutely amazing, and it's been a different experience, hasn't it? To watching the WSL games to watching the games at the Euros, the atmosphere has been different, hasn't it? But better, probably, actually, if you're honest.
Yeah, no, it's been electric. It's different when with international football in that sense. You see, with World Cup down the years, certainly more colour as compared to domestic games. And I think the lot of reason behind that as well is because of the various fan parties that have been going across the cities, encouraging people to get into the match day atmosphere and just get behind their team. And I haven't been able to make it to them sadly because I've just been traveling and other stuff. But I mean, just the organisation of those events and the road show, it's got everybody in the mood, and that's why you've seen the passion and the excitement for them as they go through each game, which is really good to see.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I do think that they've made a real effort with the whole organisation of it, the events they've had on, the fan parties, which I've not actually managed to get to either.
No.
One, because at Old Trafford, I did a bit of filming outside. There was lots going on, lots of people there, and we kind of just got gone along with that really. And the Sweden-Holland game, it was literally just there were fans everywhere out in the street, and the Sweden fans, and it was just great just to be there and experience that. So we just did that, and it was great. So I'm hoping to certainly the France and Netherlands game. I really want to try to. We're going to be supporting Holland, obviously, because we don't want France to win, do we? Obviously, so we're supporting Holland anyway. So we want to find, where the Holland fans are going to be hanging around and try to enjoy them, because they create a great atmosphere, the Holland fans. So we want to get a part of that as well. And hopefully, I don't know what end of the ground we're in. I don't know which side, whether we're in the Holland end or in the France end. I'm not sure. I'm hoping we're going to be in the Holland end, because we're going to have orange on and we're going to be cheering Holland on, but we'll have to wait and see.
Wherever they go,
I don't know what section. We were in with the Sweden fans last time, so hopefully we'll be in the Holland fans this time. It'd be nice if we are, because we'll be supporting them anyway, so I don't really care what end we're in. I'll still be supporting Holland. But that's going to be good. And the atmosphere has been fantastic, and I've enjoyed you know, even watch it on the telly, you can see that the atmosphere has been great at so many games. So it's been big crowds as well, hasn't there? You know, there's not been many empty seats. I was a little bit worried some of these group games not involving England wouldn't have the crowds, but most of them, the attendances have been pretty good, haven't they? Overall, it's been
phenomenal. Yeah,
higher than I ever expected them to be. It's already beat the record, we know, but you know, it's even some of the games, even last night's game, the Belgium-Italy game, you know, it was a smaller ground, obviously, at the Manchester City Academy, but it looked like it was fairly full, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, and it's been great to see. I don't know. I didn't see one empty seat. Well, there's been odd empty seats, but largely being sellouts. And yeah, it just is good to show not just only the interest that's been generated, but the exposure and the fact that they see these international stars week in, week out with their domestic leagues, and the fact that they're playing in this for their countries has just only served to heighten the excitement and the enjoyment and the passion that fans get by, that the fans have been getting behind, and that's why I would say that crowds have been increasing. And and you couldn't forget, like when Barcelona played twice at the Camp Nou early in the season, that's like fed off of that, and it's translated into the international scene, which is only served to make the game even better.
Yeah, I mean, the final itself, obviously at Wembley, if England do manage to get there, I mean, that is going to be incredible, isn't it? I mean, 90,000 fans at Wembley for the final. That is just going to be some night, that is, isn't it? I'm just cutting at the moment. I haven't got tickets, and I probably aren't going to be able to get any now, unfortunately. But everyone who's got tickets to that game, they're going to have if England are in it, of course, they're going to have such a great time. So we'll see how that goes. Terry's in the chat. He says, "Good evening, Richard." And the Bollywood pop star Emma.
Well done on winning CD. Yeah.
And Terry says, "5-1 England. Amar's bring the goals this Euros." No, he has brought the goals, hasn't he, so far? I mean, what more can we want?
13 of them. 13 goals. Yeah.
Let's hope that continues tomorrow. He says, "Agree, Richard. Thank you, lads, for your blogs. Much appreciated." Yeah, I think they've added some real good content to the channel. Actually, it's been great. I've enjoyed watching them. I've enjoyed putting all the clips together and stuff. It's been brilliant. So there'll be a couple more left. Obviously, Amar's got to do one tomorrow. I'll be doing one Saturday, and then hopefully the semi-final as well. And we'll see. I mean, Matt's at the final. I know it might be a little bit much to be vlogging when you want to enjoy the game. So I'll see if Matt.
He's got tickets to the final. Nice one.
He's got tickets to the final. I'm sure he has, and you know. Nice. So that would be incredible, but we'll see. I mean, we've done well with all the vlogs that we've done on the channel throughout the tournament, and I hope you guys watching have enjoyed them. If you haven't seen them yet, check them out on the channel. There's about 6 or 7 vlogs on from all different games, starting from the England-Austria game all the way up into the Germany-Finland game at the weekend. And I say there's more to come as well. So it's a lot of, you guys have put a lot of work and effort in to do the vlogs. They're not easy. It takes time to do. You've got to film stuff and all that kind of stuff. So, it's a lot of effort. So give them a watch, and you will enjoy them because they are great. And so there's a few more to come as well. So that's obviously England. And I mean, what's your score prediction? That Terry's gone 5-1. I don't know where you get the 1 from, Terry, because Spain aren't going to score against us, are they? Come on, let's be honest. So,
I don't know.
5-1 is a bit optimistic. I mean, what are you thinking, Emma, tomorrow? It is going to be. I think it's going to be a tough game. It
will be a tough game, but we have more than enough tools, enough know-how, enough guile to break them down. I'm not sure they have that. As we know, they only have that one defined style of playing. We know it was so good with the men's team for several years, but then they were found out. I honestly think that it won't be as one-sided as the games were against Norway and Northern Ireland, but I think we'll have more than enough to see them off. And I think I'm going to look, 3-0 England.
3-0, wow, okay.
We can blow them out of the water. I really do.
Well, I mean that would be incredible, wouldn't it? And I say you have seen some goals for England in the tournament so far, so it wouldn't be surprising. So there we go. Terry says Amar's 8-0 sing-song vlog was very funny. It was, yeah. He enjoyed himself. You did enjoy yourself then, didn't you? I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, 8-0 victory. Wow, that was incredible, wasn't it?
It could have been 12 or 13. Let's be honest. There were so other chances as well. Could have easily been double figures in that, and even the Northern Ireland game could have been more as well. So yeah. Yeah,
no, it could have been. Yeah, we could have scored. As I said, we've missed a lot of chances, which is a little bit worrying. But we'll let them off if they do the business tomorrow. I mean, I think it's going to be a very tight game. The last 3 or 4 times we've played Spain, there's not been much in it, and I can't see that. Obviously, it was 0-0 back in the Arnold Clark Cup. and yeah, both teams had chances that day to have won that game, and it ended up in a draw. And it wouldn't surprise me if at 90 minutes it was a draw and then it goes to extra time. It wouldn't surprise me, but I'm not going to predict that. I'm going to predict that England do win in 90 minutes. I'm going to go 2-0. I think we'll score, and then towards the end of the game, Spain will have to take more risks. They'll push players forward, and we'll catch them on the counter attack and get a second goal. And wrap it up probably 5 minutes to go or something like that. That's what I'm going to predict. But I'll take anything. Any victory will do, even if it is extra time, even if it's heaven forbid penalties. But if we win, I don't care. I don't care what the score is. I don't care anything. If we win, it's fine. But I think it might be 2-0. I think we might just be too strong for them. But I think the second goal will come really, really late on the counter attack as they're pushing on, maybe throwing on a couple of extra forwards to try and get back into the game. And I think we'll pick them off and get a second. But I certainly don't think it's going to be. It's certainly not going to be an easy game. Even if if you're right and it is 3-0, I still think it'll be a difficult game, and we'd have just played well and took our chances. But we'll see what happens. Let's just hope that we win. And move on to the semi-final. I mean, if we don't win tomorrow, I think it's going to put a big, massive downer on the rest of the tournament, isn't it? There's 3 more quarterfinals to come, and is that enthusiasm and excitement still going to be there for those games if England have lost? I'm not sure.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think we're not having a host nation. We'll maybe change the way other teams approach it. Maybe they can just, I would say that maybe a free hit or trying to win a tournament, but certainly maybe change the way they think about it, and then I don't know, maybe it'll translate to the teams. But yeah, a tournament without the hosts. I mean, it's happened so many times in the past, but yeah, no, I think it would be a massive downer if, as you say, if England did get knocked out. But the way we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and let's hope that we don't get knocked out, and it'll keep the excitement going. Now Terry's sticking with his 5-1 anyway. He does think Spain will score, so there you go. Fair enough. They have got good players, so it wouldn't be a total surprise if they did score. It's just that they've lacked a goal-scoring threat in the group, haven't they? So my feeling is they may not be able to score against our brilliant defence that's so well organised and works so hard, and I'm not sure if they'll be able to break through. But anyway, we'll see. If we win 5-1, I don't care if they do score. If we score 5, they can score 2 or 3. I'm not bothered, as long as we won.
No.
I just think defensively we're so strong, and they haven't looked like scoring many goals. I know they scored 4 against Finland, but that's Finland. We're England, and we're a totally different.
Yeah, even against Denmark.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, obviously tomorrow I'll be doing a watch along of the game, so we won't really have time to look too much ahead to the Germany-Austria game on Thursday. So we might as well have a quick look at that one as well. Now, I may be one of the only people in the world who thinks Austria might actually have a chance of going through, because I think they're a very difficult team to play against, very organised defensively, and in a knockout game, they proved it at the last tournament. They can get through, even if it comes to penalties or whatever. So what are you expecting from that game? Do you think Germany will have too much? Because they have been impressive, Germany, let's be honest.
Austria have got better as the game went along. You could see, even against England, they lost 1-0. They were very solid at the back, and our keeper and our defender, of course, Manu and Laura, were outstanding. And even in their second game, I didn't see their second game. We got against Norway, they didn't concede in that. There's no way they could easily have won by more. Norway were very disappointing in that game, and they could easily have won that by more. It was good to see Nicole Biller scoring as well, their star player, and they've definitely got a threat on the going forward. And as we well know, they're very well organised. And yeah, they can certainly cause this German team problems. They don't maybe tend to score that many goals, but they certainly have scared, as we know from the last tournament when they got to the semis and only narrowly missed out on the final. They certainly got within them to maybe cause an upset here, but I'll probably just probably give the citation to Germany and back them to get through. But they'll certainly be made to work for it, whatever happens.
Yeah, no, they will. I mean, I think this is a really tough game for Germany, actually. And, I know we played Austria in a group stage and we did win. I don't think I would have fancied playing Austria in one of the knockout games, because that's the sort of game that's got extra time and penalties written all over it, whoever they play, because of how organised they are. And, I got a feeling I wouldn't be surprised at all if that game on Thursday does go to extra time and potentially penalties as well. Obviously, if it goes to penalties, Germany will win because Germany always win on penalties, as Andreas has mentioned several times on the show. And they do. So
they do, they do.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens on Thursday, actually, that Germany win on penalties. I think it's going to be that tight a game because we saw how difficult Austria were to play against. We didn't create... we had 2 or 3 chances, but we didn't manage to create much against them because they defended so well. And, they didn't offer much threat down forward. And, I mean, I saw actually today there was a team of the group stage was announced. And Laura actually got picked as the right back in the team of the group stage. So it shows what an impact that she made. Obviously, England had one. We've only got 3 players in it, actually, which is Millie Bright, Kira Walsh, and obviously Beth Mead. I thought we may have had a few more.
Well, you could have easily thrown Lauren Hemp in there. You could have thrown Ellen White in there. You could have, anybody really.
Yeah. I mean, Hegering of Germany got in at the back, and the France left back is Kochavi. In midfield, it's the French Gaora, of course, who scored a hat trick.
Gaora,
and Aslani as well as Sweden. She has had a good tournament, to be fair. She's been great, actually. So, that's not surprising. And then the other 2 in the front 3 with Beth Mead was Alexandra Pop of Germany, who, of course, has scored in all 3 games as well. And Jessica Silva of Portugal, actually, was the last player. She had a decent group stage as well, didn't she? So it's not a bad team, that. The goalkeeper, actually, was Everard of Belgium.
She was really good, actually, for them last night. And they were really good. They only conceded 3 times in the group. They were a bit unlucky to lose to France and never play sent off. But they've been a surprise package. And good luck to them against Sweden. We'll see what happens there. But I think that going back to the Germany-Austria game, I think it will be tight. It wouldn't surprise me if we're in extra time. The knockouts will be totally different to a group stage, and if you're not on your game, you get found out. So I mean, Germany have what it takes. I mean, they've won this thing like 6 times already before. So I mean, they'll have the know-how and the way they want to play. So we'll see. As I said, you would never underestimate Austria, but I would just, if I was making a score prediction for that one, I'd probably say 2-1 Germany, but possibly they'll need the 120 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going extra time on penalties, maybe 1-1, and then Germany win on penalties because they do. But I think actually, if Austria score first in that game, I think Germany have then got a really tough task. And I was a bit worried about that when we played them at Old Trafford. If Austria had taken the lead in that game, then it would have been very difficult for us to come back and win. And I think it'll be the same for Germany. So if Austria can get a goal from a set piece or something like that, because they do have some goal scorers there. That obviously, Nicola Via scored the winner against Norway. She's a threat in front of goal. So that could make that a very interesting game. But I do think Germany will ultimately go through into the semi-final, which is going to be interesting. Hopefully, we're in the semi-final as well. Obviously, opposite semi-final, we can't play Germany in the semi-final, which is good news, I suppose. But and then, of course, the other 2 quarterfinals at the weekend are going to be interesting as well, aren't they? So there's lots and lots of great football still to come. Terry has gone 3-1 to Germany. Okay, I think Germany will score 3 against that Austrian defence. I'm not so sure they will, but who knows? I mean, they scored. I mean, they scored 9 in the group, didn't they, Germany? So they're averaging 3 a game. Maybe they will score 3.
Didn't concede any.
So, but I don't know. That Austria defence must be horrible to play against because of how organised they are. They deny you space. They give away technical free kicks, if you like, to break up the flow of your play and stuff. They're a very difficult team to play against. So if Germany score 4 against Austria, then 3 against Austria, I'd say fair play to them, and they will be even more the team to watch and team to beat in the tournament, I would say. But we'll see how that game goes. I mean, it's a local derby, isn't it? I suppose. If you look at it, it's a bit of a derby game, so it's going to be full-blooded. I'm sure it's going to be exciting to watch. I'm hoping I can still be excited about that game on Thursday. Obviously, we want our result tomorrow. I don't want that to spoil the enjoyment of the tournament because it has been great, and I want that to continue. Obviously, the longer England stay in, the better, I suppose, from that point of view. But it has been, let's see what happens. But I think that Germany's going to be a tight game. But
I'd agree with you. It'll be
ultimately, I think they will win. And they may well be in the final, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Obviously, there's a few more games to go yet. A lot of football to be played. You never know.
Yeah, no, it'd be good.
But yeah, I mean, I think England Germany seems to be the dream final for many people, doesn't it? You know, and oddly enough, the two best teams in the group stage as well. England and Germany are the best two teams in the group stage, I think.
Yeah, I think France were good for the first couple of games. Yeah, although I expected them after they scored early to go on and will win. I don't know what was going on there with the game going over 100 minutes, but yeah.
So I was watching the other game mainly, the Belgium-Italy game.
So was I.
So I was catching bits and pieces of the Iceland game. I don't know what all the stoppage time was for. I know there was a few
two VAR checks and then a third VAR check for a penalty, which Iceland ended up equalising from. So that's where all that added time came from.
Yeah, I know there was a lot of injury time, but anyway, I mean, I've been a little bit underwhelmed by France. Apart from that first half against Italy, when obviously they were brilliant. Since then, they've been a bit up and down for me. The second half against Italy, they wasn't that great. Belgium, they were a bit up and down in that game. Yes, they won, but they didn't play fantastically. And obviously, last night I didn't watch all the game. I've seen highlights, and what I saw, they played well in spells, it seemed, but not consistently well throughout the game, and that seems to have been their problem all the way through. So I actually, the game on Saturday I'm going to, France and Netherlands, I actually think Holland can beat them, because I think Holland, if Viv's back, if all their big players turn up, I think Holland can beat France, because I think France is a bit vulnerable at the back, and I don't know, I won't be surprised if Holland win that.
It will be interesting, because France have lost Katoto to an ACL injury, and then now I just read earlier that Lika Martins is out with a foot injury, so they're both missing key players.
Actually, I forgot about Lika Martins being out. That's a blow. They definitely need Viv back, don't they? They desperately need Viv back at the weekend.
But the thing is with France, though, they may not be they may be underwhelming, maybe as a group stage went on. But when you got as one of the best central defenders of more recent times and of the modern day, Wendy Renard, I mean, that's always a useful asset as well. So it'll be interesting to see how the Dutch go about trying to get through her, for example.
Well, I mean, you just give the ball to Viv, don't you? Quite honestly, and let Viv do her stuff, and then that's how you get past. That's how you get past her. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be an interesting game. Actually, that's a good point about Lika Martins, because I read about that today. Actually, I forgot about that, but she's out, and that's a big blow, because she's a very, very good player. So that's a blow for them. But if Viv's back, that will make up for it, but that'll be a massive bonus for Holland, won't it? If Viv is back fit. Let's hope she's got plenty of time. We'll see. Terry there's getting a bit ahead of himself. He said England 6, Germany 2 in the final. There's that revenge for, was it 2009 when they beat us 6-2?
2009 they beat us 6-2, but that was arguably the best German team of all time.
Well, probably the best women's team of all time, actually.
From 2001 to 2011, they won until Japan beat them in the quarterfinals of the Home World Cup. They were the best team on the planet.
Yeah, they were. And
arguably my favourite player of all time in Prince. So
we suffered a little bit in that final. I mean, it would be nice to beat them 6-2 in the final, wouldn't it? But I'm not expecting that.
Well, we've already scored. It's funny, it's that you should say. We've actually scored more goals in the group stage with 14 than the Netherlands did in the whole way of winning, which they scored 13 5 years ago. So, I mean, let's see what happens.
Yeah, no, that's true. And we scored a record number of goals in the group stage in the tournament ever before. So we broke a lot of records in the group. But ultimately, as Serena said, we've achieved nothing yet. We've just won a group that you would have expected us to probably have won anyway. Yes, we've done it maybe more impressively than perhaps we hoped, we anticipated we would. And we broke a few records along the way. But ultimately, if we lose to Spain, it won't matter that we scored the most goals in the group, will it? Because it's irrelevant. What's important is winning the knockout games and winning the tournament, or certainly getting to the final. So let's hope that we can do that. And I've said it all the way through. I've got 100% faith and belief in Serena as the manager and the team as a group of players as well. The quality that they possess and the attitude that they're showing as well, and the desire and the hunger. I've got 100% faith in this team and this manager. And I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it until we get knocked out. But I don't think we've got a better chance of winning a tournament. No. We've come close in recent years with the men. We've come close with the women a few times. I say that final we mentioned before. Not that we ever was in that final, but we've come close a few times to winning something, and it's been frustrating that we've not managed to. But this could be the year that I don't think we're going to have a better chance with this team. It's the best team that we've had, and it's the best manager that we've had, I think. And it's just if everything lines up properly, we will do it. But We'll know more tomorrow, won't we? Because this time tomorrow it'll be what? It'll be half time, won't it? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Won't have started yet, will it?
No, it's an 8 o'clock kickoff. It's an 8
Yeah,
o'clock kickoff.
won't have started yet, will it?
Uh-huh.
But we'll be very nervous. So this time tomorrow, I'll be very nervous. Actually, I will be.
Same, but no, the atmosphere will be great.
You'll be enjoying the atmosphere in the ground. You'll be fine. They'll be singing "Sweet Caroline" and everything. You'll be loving life. I'll be sitting here like shaking with nerves. But anyway, it's going to be good. It is going to be a good game, I'm sure. And hopefully, I say we will win. I did want to actually just briefly. I don't want to talk about this too much because it's a little bit annoying, but I did want to speak to you about it. The comments that's been made, obviously, this week about the lack of diversity in the women's team. Right now, I personally believe sport is about ability, and it's about and as Serena said today, you pick the best players. That doesn't matter where they come from originally, what race they are, what anything. You pick the best players. If the best players happen to be white, they're white. If they happen to be black, they're black. If they happen to be whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I found it rather strange that after we beat Norway 8-0, they're trying to make a big deal about the fact that the team had all white players and all white substitutes. It's like, really? But we just won the game.
Really? I didn't read that.
8-0. And there's been, Anita Asante, we love Anita Asante. What a fantastic player she was for Arsenal, for England. And she's kind of been talking about it as well. It's like,
I don't know. Yeah.
There's not, to me, and I don't know, personally for me, I don't see a lack of opportunity for black girls to play football.
No, absolutely not.
They've got the opportunity to play as much as anybody else. To me, that would be if they didn't have the opportunity to play, that's a problem, and we'd need to look at that. Bear in mind, England had a black manager for many, many years with Hope Powell. So
absolutely.
I don't see that there's an issue. I mean, do you think there's an issue with it, or is it just at this moment in time, the best players in England happen to be white as opposed to in the men's team when most of the team aren't white?
Yeah, I think it shouldn't go down. It should go down to ability and inclusivity at the end of the day. It shouldn't be about the race or whatever gender, whatever their status is, whether they're whether they're in a relationship with other women or whatever. It just go down to their technical ability and their fitness and their form and how they've been playing through a season. Gender, race, sex, or whatever it should never be a factor in who gets picked and who doesn't. And ultimately, it's the best players that get picked. And if they're going to discriminate on the color of people's skin, then we might as well just go home. Yeah.
Yeah. 100% exactly that, and that's wrong, isn't it? I mean, I don't understand, and again, maybe that. I mean, to be fair, I mean, my family half my family come from Asia, so I kind of understand a little bit, but maybe it's different for me to maybe understand it. But I don't understand when they say that these black girls can't be inspired by players like Beth Mead because they're not black, or they can't be inspired by Millie Bright. I'm like, why not? Why can't they be? Surely they can be inspired by the fact that they are, one, fantastic role models for women. They're fantastic footballers. They're just, how can you fail to be inspired by them? Surely they don't have to be a black player for a black girl to be inspired by them. I don't see how that can be the case. Surely you can be inspired by how great they are. Mo Farah, for example. Absolutely. I can be inspired by Mo Farah. I can be inspired by, all the black footballers and athletes and stuff like that when I was growing up. They're the people that inspired me, Daley Thompson, people like that. Yeah. And I don't look at it. I don't see, I can't be inspired by Daley Thompson because he doesn't look like me. I'm thinking, no, I'm inspired by him because he's brilliant at what he does. And I look at it and think, I want to do that. I want to be as good as he is.
It's like I took up golf because of the great Tiger Woods, for example. It shouldn't be down to other people. Yeah, it's like because he inspired a generation. He inspired a lot of other American golfers to take up the game as well. So it should nothing to do with that at all.
It shouldn't be, should it? And it annoys me when this is mentioned because it's like, how can you should let yourself become inspired by people that are very good at things that you enjoy. If someone's good at football, they'll inspire me. I'll look at them and think, wow, I wish I was as good as them at football. And, when I was younger, I wanted to become as good as them. And obviously I couldn't because I wasn't as good. But they give you something to achieve. I was into athletics when I was a kid. Used to do a lot of sprinting, running, 100 metres, 200 metres. I used to do it from the county and stuff like that. Yeah. And I'd look at the sprinters at the time, and most sprinters generally are black, and that's just the way it is. And I'd look up to them and I'd want to be like them. I'd want to be like them. Not because they were black, but because they were brilliant at running, and I wanted to run like they could. You know what I mean? And I don't understand that you can separate that. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah,
really, but
it's weird. Yeah, it's just weird.
And I don't know why they've made such a big thing about it. And it's annoying. Terry says, I agree 100%. And Terry says, to be fair, I didn't even notice what colour our team was. No, exactly, until they brought it out. 100%. It must be very sad to live your life thinking that way. I mean, I didn't actually notice, and I didn't even care. And I don't care now. And it wouldn't bother me if the whole team was black. I wouldn't be bothered because they're a great team and they're playing great football. And it makes no difference. Look at the men's team. You know, the men's team have got 6, 7, 8 regular players that are black in the team, but you wouldn't notice that they are because I don't look at it like that. I look at it as our footballers that play for England, or they play for Arsenal, or they play for Liverpool, whatever they play, it doesn't matter. They're footballers, and that's the only thing I look at. And I agree. I think it's mad that people separate it in that way, and no one should be separated. They're the England team. They've been picked by the manager. They're the best that we've got. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters, and that's I just think that's all we should worry about. And hopefully tomorrow they will prove once again how good they are at football and how good they are at representing this country because they've been amazing. And, you know, they should be. Every single one of those players in the squad should be inspirations and should be all youngsters, young people, whether it's men, whether it's girls, boys, whatever it is, should be inspired by them. Should be inspired by what they've done, and that should be the case. Everybody should be inspired by them. Because they are inspiring people. You know, you look at Beth Mead. How can you not be inspired by Beth Mead? She's just amazing. You know, she's an amazing person. She's an amazing footballer. If you can't be inspired by her, then I feel sorry for you, quite honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel sorry for anybody, but yeah.
And not just Beth Mead. She's just the biggest example because she, at the moment, is the best player. And we love her, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so, I mean, it's a load of nonsense, really. And the BBC needs to have a word.
It's a bit sad, yeah.
And well, the funny thing, well, not the funny thing, I suppose, ironic thing was today as well. I read in the news that Anita Asante has just been appointed manager of Bristol City.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what players she picks, whether she picks players on their ability or whether she picks players on other aspects. That'd be interesting to see, wouldn't it? I'm sure she's going to pick the best players because she's going to want to win games because she's the manager. Yeah. That's what you do, and that's what sport is. You pick the best players. And that's how it should always be. And the rest of it is irrelevant. Terry says, Richard, if you was good at running, was it down to your shoplifting days living in the East? You've got to be quick to get away. Oh, no, you didn't in them days because, you know, the security guards are a bit chubby and they can't run, can they? So you didn't even have to be that quick. But no, I mean, I did used to be good at running, yeah. I used to be good at sprinting. I do longer running now just because I can't be bothered to sprint anymore. So I just do longer running. But I used to be a sprinter, yeah. I used to be all right, actually, to be fair. I used to enjoy it. Yeah. I did used to really enjoy it, but yeah, no, it wasn't running away from shoplifting. No, but no, I didn't get caught, you know, so I must have been quite quick.
No, you didn't get caught. No.
I didn't get caught. No. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So that's just an issue it's been bothering me really, and I just we need to put it right really because I the BBC have been doing my heading with lots of things at the minute.
Yeah,
about the weather 24/7. It's like, it is hot today. I'm not going to lie. It has been warm and yesterday, but it's 2 days. I'm sure we can handle 2 days, can't we? Hot weather without the world coming to an end. But anyway, we'll see what happens tomorrow. It's supposed to be cooler tomorrow, which is good news.
Yeah.
Because the game's on, and it's. I mean, I was driving home from work today. It was like 40 degrees, or whatever it was, and I saw somebody jogging out on the street. I actually had to stop the car. Because I thought, really, you're jogging on the street. I mean, fair play to him. I mean, brilliant. I mean, what a legend to do it. But I'm like, no way was I ever think about doing. I got in from work and that was it. I just sat down and that was it. I had something to eat and I'm not moving because it's too hot. Every time you move, you just feel all sticky, don't you? So, but tomorrow's going to be better, so we're fine. The weather's what it is, isn't it? We'll be fine. So that's that then. So I'll say tomorrow night then I'll be doing the watch along, obviously, of the England game against Spain. We'll go live about 7:30, I think, so that we can have some good build-up, get the team news and all that kind of stuff, and look forward to the game, sing the national anthem, and be proud of Steve and everything like that. So that's what we'll do, and then we'll do the full watch-along of the game. So that'll be good. Hopefully, could be a long night, but we'll be ready. I'll have me. I'll have me Weetabix beforehand so I can last this extra time. So that'll be that. That's going to be good tomorrow. So please join us for that full match commentary as usual. Then on Thursday, actually, I'll play five-a-side on a Thursday, so I won't be doing a preview of the Germany game, which is why we talked about it tonight. So we probably won't be back until Friday, where we'll come live about 7 o'clock on Friday just to look ahead to the Sweden against Belgium game, preview that one. And also we'll preview the Saturday game, France against Netherlands, because I'll be at that game, so I won't be able to do anything live on Saturday. So we'll do that on Friday. So we'll have the watch along tomorrow, and then we'll be back on Friday at 7 o'clock to do a preview of the other two quarterfinals and look forward to the potential semi-finals that might come about on the back of that as well. Do some predictions and stuff like that. And then I'll say, look out for Amar's vlog, of course, tomorrow. I should be able to get that up on Thursday. I'm working from home, so I'll do it at lunchtime on Thursday. And then I'll do a vlog on Saturday, which I'll hopefully get up on Sunday. So loads of great stuff. Great coverage of the Euros on the channel, because we're loving it and we're enjoying it, and we want to give you guys as much coverage as we can. So if you are enjoying what we're doing, please give us a like as well, because that's really important. And if you are new, maybe you've recently discovered us, then please consider subscribing as well, because yes, we're an Arsenal channel mainly. We're not going to disguise the fact that we're an Arsenal channel, but we do give good coverage to the Arsenal women and women's football in general, and obviously this tournament. But when the season's up and running in the Premier League, we'll be covering the Arsenal men's team as usual. We'll be doing all the other stuff as well. But for the time being, for the next couple of weeks, we are going to focus on the Euro still, because it's a massive big tournament and it's important for women's football, and we're a massive supporter of women's football here. So if that sounds like something that you might enjoy, please consider subscribing to the channel. But definitely join us tomorrow for the watch along, because it's going to be great. It's going to be tense. It's going to be nervy. So make sure that you're prepared. Drink lots of water so you're ready, so you can laugh. And everyone's going to be at the stadium, so that's going to be great. I'm sure you'll have a great time tomorrow, won't you? You must be looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, it'll be great. I can't wait, and hopefully we'll get that W and make it to the semi-finals. Bring it on.
Are you going? You're just going down tomorrow? You're not staying overnight?
Oh, no, I'll be coming back on Thursday. Yeah, no, I'll be staying with my dad one day again, and coming back to London on Thursday. So yeah.
Oh, you stay there? Oh, cool. Okay, good stuff. Okay, so it's going to be a good night, I'm sure. Yeah. And we look forward to the vlog as well. We'll be looking forward to seeing that as well, and experiencing some of that great atmosphere down at Brighton. And hopefully we'll all enjoy a good England victory again into the semi-final, but we'll see. But definitely join us for the watch along, because it's going to be good at 7:30. So obviously thanks to Amar for joining us again. It's been fantastic as always. Always great to see you. Looking forward to what you're up to tomorrow, which is going to be fun. And I say we'll be back at 7:30, so please join us. So please like it before you leave. Thanks to everyone in the chat, especially Terry. He's a legend. Terry is an absolute legend. He's probably the biggest fan that we've got on the channel, actually. So we love him. So yeah, that's great stuff. He did mention something about the goals, didn't he? 13 goals and an own goal. I know you wanted to win the CD, Terry, but I can't win the rules. England scored 14 goals, even though England would score. Doesn't matter, unfortunately. Rules are rules. But actually, to be fair, Russ hasn't got in touch with me yet to send the CD to, so I've still got it. So, if he doesn't send me his address sooner or later, I might have to send it out to you, Terry. So, you might because you did come second. So there you go. But anyway, if you are watching, Russ, please do send me your address so I can send you the CD, because you have one. So you just need to, I don't know where to send it to at the minute, so you're going to have to let me know. But I will send you another message just to make sure that you've got it. So thanks everyone for watching. So thanks to Amar for joining us. We'll be back on, I'll say tomorrow for the watch along, and then on Friday for the other two quarterfinal previews, which are going to be fun. Enjoy the game tomorrow if you can, hopefully with us. If you're in the stadium, sing your heart out for the girls. Make sure that you cheer them to victory, and get involved in all this good stuff that's going on there. That will be great. We'll see what happens there. Terry says there, great show again, chaps. Have a great time tomorrow. Amar's going to sing his heart out tomorrow night. We're going to hear him all the way here. We're going to hear him on the television. If you should be down the front like that Italian guy yesterday, with flag and cheering everybody. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, let's try. I'll try.
Get it on the vlog as well, because that'd be even better.
Yeah, we'll try.
So Terry says it should have my CD tomorrow. Well, I'll be playing it on the watch along anyway, so you'll hear it tomorrow. Because I'll definitely be playing it at various different points throughout the game. We'll be playing it now, actually. So the song to play out with is A Beautiful Game, which is a very good little tune from Pete Drake and Kay Spink, of course, who have made the CD. The link is in the description to the video, so you can download the song anyway. And you definitely want to be playing it tomorrow night to get behind the girl, because it's great sing-along. we'll be playing it on the channel before the game to get you in the mood and everything like that. So it's going to be fun. So join us for that 7:30. Emma, have a great time tomorrow, mate. I'm really jealous that you're there, but you're going to enjoy it. We'll look out for everything from there. And yeah, have a good evening, guys. Hopefully it'll be a little bit cooler tomorrow because we are kind of burning up in the UK at the moment. We shouldn't really complain because it's nice, but it's also a bit hot. Hopefully tomorrow will be better and we'll all enjoy the game. Come on, you Lionesses. Come on, let's do it. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
See you tomorrow, guys. Take it easy. This is The Beautiful Game by Pete Drake and Kay Spink, and it's very, very good. So get a copy in the link down below.
There's shin pads, hairbands, rainbow laces, brand new fans and different races. Another camp with COVID cases, an England squad with brand new faces. Here we go, the summer's here. Meet your friends.